I don't know how much I've been talking. I have no idea that I wasn't. That's what I get for continuing to look to my left. I had no idea that I wasn't in the center. I wasn't even paying that any attention. I don't. I, that's what I get. I'm losing people. Now I was wondering where everybody went. Hopefully they'll come. I was finally on time. My feed actually came up the way it was supposed to. I'm sitting here. I just went over some good stuff too. 4 minutes and 50 some seconds worth. I swear, I'm just a walking technical difficulty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was looking right at this screen too. All right. So I'm going to continue on by myself, a la mode. And maybe people will pop in to say, oh, is she on? Hopefully. Hopefully. 5 minutes in, guys. Make sure to go back and, pop that in. Anyway, long story short, I thought I was live. Obviously, I wasn't on the camera. And no excuse. I am the queen of technical difficulty. So, if you're watching me, always start 3 to 5 minutes in. That's going to be a given. Not only am I struggling with my electronics and things of that nature, but there's a big but. Um, but my computer is failing. It's getting slower. It's getting more. I think that's what's happening to me. I don't know. I don't know. But that's probably the case. In any event, hopefully people who are here will come back. Probably not. What's everybody doing? What's everyone working on? I'm just going to dive in. I'm going to get started, and I'm just going to be chit chatting about um, stresses and things like that. So consider this to be more of a whipping chat as opposed to a live because I'm sitting here 7 minutes in and 3 minutes in. I'm all by myself. So if you guys don't come and join tonight, I completely understand. That's crazy. All right. So here I go. Been a really rough week. I mean, really, really rough. Working, at least 12-hour days, just long, drawn out and things like. So some of the things on my mind because I'm exhausted, because I'm dealing with some severe pain. But what's really on my mind is, vacation spots and things like that. That's why it's time to pull out a landscape diamond painting and just marvel at it and dream and wish and hope because, like, I just feel the need to kind of get away, go somewhere, And so, what I've been wondering is what an ideal place to go is. Like, where's people vacationing at? Where are you vacationing? Where are you going? So, I'm just trying to, figure out right now. Um, hmm, do I think an island would be an ideal place to go? Caribbean island, somewhere with blue, gorgeous waters. I'm thinking dusk scenes, maybe not so much, surfer or anything, but more tropical, where, you're seeing the coconuts. Not necessarily Hawaii, I know Punta Cana is beautiful and things like that. But where ideally, what I like to be is that again, a tropical oasis. Can I see myself right now somewhere up in the mountains? where it's cooler. Some of the mountains right now are still having like winter, weathery, blistery conditions. So is that a place that's ideal right now? I mean, think about it. I'm trying to work on my Zen. I'm really stressed from work. I've been putting in lots of hours. So what does that ideal, location look like? Maybe if it's not a mountain scene, it's a popular tourist destination. So where would I want to go right now? Obviously, Paris is out. Everyone, did Paris to death. The customer service right now is probably horrible. Oh my gosh. Oh well. Whoever's here, they're gonna have to just stand in line and wait till I'm ready to serve this food. My feet are hurting from all the Olympic activity. So I think Paris is out the question. That's probably a horrible destination to kind of go to right now. So what else does that lead? What other tourist destination? Turkey. How about the Greek Isles? Are those places that you've been? If so, kind of check in and let me know down in the chat box. One of the locations, I have like a mystery location that I'm thinking of that I would love to kind of see. And some of the clues, because I want you guys to try and guess and put your answers down below, but try and guess what this mystery location would be. And I do know, I believe I think there's a diamond painting of this location. So it is a beautiful place known for, I'm going to say, frivolity. A place that perhaps the youth, when I say youth, they are legal, so that means they're over 21, and perhaps under 35. So a place where the youth may want to frolic. Love is in the air. Definitely a place where a couple in love may want to go. Um, it is beautiful. It is a beautiful way to view the city, a boat ride through to the city. Let's see. Tammy! No one is here keeping me company. I'm all by myself. How are you doing? So for the first 5 minutes, Tammy, I was I wasn't on. I didn't realize it though, but I wasn't on camera. I will say there were like 5 people or something like that in here at the time. But I'm going to show you real quick what it looked like. I'm going to pop out and pop back in. Okay, so that's what it looked like for the first time. And I didn't realize because when I look up at the screen, I'm looking at the little box. So I'm like, oh man, nobody's coming tonight. Nobody's coming. It's okay. I'm getting used to my technical woes and difficulties. So the older my computer gets, obviously, the slower it gets. The older I get, I'm going to be 29 soon. So the no judgment. So the older I get, I'm noticing that that's the case with me as well. And so it had been a really bad week this week at work. And so I was talking about, how stressed and overworked I was. And, what I was thinking to kind of just get myself through that, which is locations and things like that. When I get like that, when I have gotten like that, prior to the last 2 years, I would pull out a landscape painting. I love landscapes. I like to, as I'm painting, wish I could go to that scene. So I did start off talking about, what would be ideal for how I was feeling this last few days. Would it be a tropical oasis? Am I thinking a, mountain side where, I'm up in the mountains, like spring water, things like that? Am I thinking about a tourist location? So that's where I was at when you came in. I was trying to decide the best tourist locations to consider right now. And one of the tourist locations, I'm posing the question or the little challenge, where if somebody can guess what it is or where it is, then they're going to be up for a little giveaway. A little giveaway, if you will. Yay! So, so I was describing the location that is in my mind. Again, after the live, come back. Make sure you type in your guess. And then I'm gonna pick from those guesses. I'll let you guys know. In any event, I did indicate it's a place where you can ride a boat through the city. I did indicate it is a place. I was on Wanda's live last night as a guest. Aww. I just met Wanda about a month ago, maybe. Oh, I bet that was a good live. I'll have to check that out. We'll have to have you now that you're going on lives. Lizzie and I'll have to get you as well. We'll do like a cousins. Oh wow, we're gonna cut up. uh, so the painting that I'm describing, it is a place where I would say is known for frivolity. Um, I think that it is also a place where the youth, and when I say youth, I'm actually referring to like over 21, under 35. So I feel like it's a place where the youth you know, may want to go. I definitely know it's a place where couples visit and vacation to. Let's see what else. Um, I'm just. It's not a place I went. It's a place that I would like to maybe vacation to, even if it's just in my mind, to get me through some tough moments. But I'm wanting you guys to try and guess that place. Yay! And then to, put your answer in the chat box after the live. Why? Because I'm going to do a giveaway. Yay! And then obviously, just to kind of get people talking, it's that time of the year where everybody's returning back to school. Things are picking back up. Regular schedules are back in place where everybody is busy. Monday through Friday, it's busy. And now we only look forward to doing something 1 or 2 days during the weekend. During the summer and some of the spring, we're all vibrant. We'll go out on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night and enjoy drinks with family or friends, right? Because it's summer, it's fun, it's a little hot and things. It's just a great time of the year. As we come back into the fall, usually that's around the time when schools start, people want to get back on a routine. I've heard so many people talk about getting their kids back on a routine. I was on the phone with my cousin the other night. We were on the phone for almost 2 hours. We haven't talked like that since we were little kids. Anyway, he has 9 kids. Yes, he does have twins and things in there. So, but he has 9 kids. And he's got like an older set. And then he has like the younger set. So he's got older 4 set of kids. He had them, a while ago. Like one of them is 21, the other one is 19, things like that. Now he has the younger set of kids, because he had a burst of energy in his latter portion of life. And so, because of that, we're talking, as we're talking, the kids are coming in from my aunt had picked up the kids and she had took them out. So now they're all coming in. Um, they're all coming in from, just hanging out. Either they were with their mom and they're being dropped back off, or they were with my aunt or something to that effect. He says it's like 7 o'clock. Don't get on no games. It's time to start with these baths. We got to get back on our routine. Was like, what routine? And he was like, they go to bed at a certain time on Sundays during the summer. And I'm like, okay. And he said that time, during the school year and during the summer, that time is eliminated. I was like, what do you mean? He said, well, his son Landon is like 6, probably. I was going to say 5, but I think the twins are 5. His son Landon is like 6 years old. And he said Landon can stay up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning during the summer. I'm like, what? Yeah, that's my night owl. He'd be in the fridge. You sound like you're describing your 35-year-old, not your 6-year-old. So, so I have heard that a lot, and it just goes to show that everyone probably, if you have kids, school age kids, you probably do have differing schedules that kind of in life kind of rotate around the kids. So you have a different schedule from the end of August through the middle of May than you have in the summer. Do you guys have that? Do you find that your household is a reflection of that as well? That's something that I would love to hear you guys rein in. So, yep, after the live, go ahead and answer that in the box also. But that's something that I'm wondering. Do we have differing schedules and things? I'm trying to remember. I probably didn't have a differing schedule until sports came along. When sports came along, my kids were interested in the sports, then obviously life changed a little bit. So I don't think it was a differing schedule until sports. Once sports ended, once everybody found themselves doing some other things, that's where crafting came from. I'd be sitting alone by myself with nothing to do. I'd be real lonely and stuff. So I used to crochet a lot. And then on top of crocheting, I cross stitch. Those were my two crafts of choice. And I did those for years, for decades. But as the kids came along and I get so busy in their schedules and things, crafting just automatically goes on a back burner. Is there anything that you are now able to do a little bit more than perhaps when you were on that school age schedule? That's another good follow up question. So what I noticed was, I'm no longer toting to and from sporting events. I'm no longer trying to make it, from work to practice or a sporting event. I had all this time on my hand, whether it's during the week, whether it was during the weekend. I just had a lot of time on my hands at that point. So I started looking to get back into crafts, but it's boring to sit and do it by yourself. It's boring to not have anybody to talk to and things. So I tried, looking stuff up, and I come across YouTube. So the first YouTuber that I had ever heard was Donnie. You guys know Donnie. She definitely knows. She's heard this story a million times. And something that Donnie was talking about was about her little daughter, Tessalyn. And she was saying how she's able to craft now and she could incorporate it into some of her crafts. But before Tesla came along, she had her older daughters. She wasn't able to craft and to afford to just have fun like she could now. And she felt guilty about that. And I started to think about that also. Like I now have free time and I now have, hi, Robert. How are you doing? So she taught, you now have free time. You now have, a little more money. I wasn't paying for sports packages and things. So I definitely was able to afford to craft at this point. Not so much when they were younger, but now, yeah, there was some room. So I definitely, would start to just get the things I like. When we first start off crafting, we are looking at the cute factor. Everything is cute. And when something's cute, it's the FOMO. You can't miss out. You got to take advantage of it. Doing great so far. Aw. So you got to take advantage when, everything is cute. You're trying to get this, you're trying to get that. And you want to make sure that you have all the cute, especially if you see somebody else get it and it's cute. You got to have what they have because it's cute, right? So moving over from there. I just realized how often I say that. Rebecca was imitating me one day when we was on our road trip, and she said, "Moving over from there," and I'm like, "I don't say that, do I?" And I went back, and I certainly do. I listened to a couple of my shows. I say that a lot. Um, so I've been working on it, but it's a part of me now, I guess. So I just cut myself off. Having my own little conversation. Anyway, we're talking about having free time and enough time available, in your day because your schedule might have changed. We definitely started out talking about how, school coming back into session, might have changed every other people's, schedules in life, not just, work schedule and stuff or school schedules, but your schedule in life. If you have young kids or school age kids, what you're doing in the fall when they're in school, especially in the evenings, may differ than when summertime is around. So that's literally what I was mentioning and things like talking about the differences and how after my children were no longer tied to like a school schedule or a sports schedule, how that opened up so much time in my day, and they were gone all the time. They're older, they have their own cars. And so what I started to find is that just all by myself. All by myself. That's all I'm gonna say on that. It's less than 15 seconds. Boom. Um, but I found myself, alone a lot, and I was bored, lonely, bored. I was bored a lot. And so I was like, oh, it might be a good time to get back into crafting. And you guys all know the rest of the story. I went from cross stitch, which I used to do a lot, over into diamond painting. And it was that new addiction, oh, it was so amazing. The addiction. We also talked about, the cute factor. That was what we all started with. But there did come a time, probably sooner for most people than it was for me, where we just stopped buying because it was cute and we started to buy with a little bit more purpose. What I want to know next is, what point was that for you where you were like, mm-mm, I'm not buying no more cute, I'm buying this, only these or only that? For me, it started to be must haves, because I still buy a lot. I don't know why, but I think the addiction went from diamond painting and crafting to the actual purchase of, the craft items now. Because I got to have the whole set when I craft, when I buy, not just the kit, but I got to have the kit, the alternative, the glue dots, I got to have the whole kit and caboodle. And so, because of that, you know, I think I shop a little bit differently. But I did get to a point where it's no longer about the cute factor. For me, that switched to being a must have. Got to have a must have. Now, the funny part is, how do you judge it as a must have? What decrees it a must have? So for me, what decrees it a must have is if it sells all the way out, and then after it sells all the way out, I find out it's not coming back, and that makes me cry. That's a must have. If I don't get to it, if I look at it and I consider buying it, and I know I'm not going to get to it for 15 years, that's a must have for me. What's your, line, the stop line, where you weren't just buying several because they were cute? You had a purpose or a reason behind it. What's that line for you? That's what I want to see you guys answer. Robert says, well, it was Brian from our Zoom got me into crochet. I had, ooh, you cannot stop since, huh? Well, I'm just going to say, I saw Brian does a lot of stuff, but he also, is that who, wait, I just thought about what you said. Is that when you started on the pot holders? I know you were making a lot of pot holders. Is that you were crocheting them, or that was still knitting? Man, I tell you, you out there with a lot of craft too, Robert. Um, so when it comes to like crochet and things like that, I used to crochet all the time. That really was like I used to crochet. It was after that. Okay. I was just making sure. um, so I I used to crochet like articles of clothing, like dresses, skirts. Um, I would also crochet just like cute tops and things like that to wear with pants and stuff. Because I used to sew. I never had like my own clothing line, but I was my own model. I used to have fun with my outfits. Fun, fun, fun. I mean, fun. And I used to be like daring and things like. Not that you guys don't see that now, but just talking about the creativity and things I was addicted to. I was addicted to when I sewed making something so unique, but cute. It still had to be cute and it had to make sense. I wasn't out here with the Gordon Gartrell shirt on or anything like that. If you don't know who Gordon Gartrell is, you have to look that up. But start with Cosby Show 1984, 85 ish. But but I will say that the items were cute and things. People would ask me, "Oh, where'd you buy that?" So that was what was important to me. And then I used to like vacation with my ex-husband, and when we would vacation, I would create my whole wardrobe for that vacation. So if we're going on a cruise, and we know at night we're going to dine at the captain's table. Rhonda! Ah! Thank you for coming to visit. I had a big faux pas earlier in the show, but the show must go on. And so it did. Anyway, so we would go on, let's say, for example, a cruise. A cruise would be about a week. We would do like 6 days, 7 nights, or 7 days, 6 nights, something like that. And so we know that we're going to dine at the captain's seating or the captain's table. That has to do with the time, just so you're aware in case you don't cruise. You're not actually sitting with the captain, although that's what I thought when the first time that we went on a cruise. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? I'm supposed to be sitting with him. And everyone's looking. Obviously, they were cruisers before, and what is it, the cruise director or the purser or somebody's like, no, 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 that's just the time you're dining at the same time as the captain. So that's what the captain seating means. I'm sitting with the captain. Ooh, and they were looking like, what? Whew, how do we control this? Well, ma'am, we'll try and seat you as close. Miss Coffee got me into buying more upgraded accessories, pens, putties, etc. Just over time, I bought diamond paintings. Mindy got me, yes. So I don't know if you ever heard me call her this, but Mindy in the community is who I call my sister wife. Everyone has a nickname, and that is exactly the reason. So Mindy and I fell in love with Chuck Penson's paintings at the same time. And I think for a while we were like, we got to have this one. We got to. People were checking in with us to see how many we had. I definitely know she has surpassed me at this point. But I think I got to like 36 Chuck Pensons before I was like, that looks just like, and that one looks just like. And so what it looks like sometimes his canvases are like he'll have one that comes out, and the second one will be so close, like it'll look like it's on the other side of the same field. And so I started to see so much, you know, similarities that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get one, and then that one I won't get. So I will always wait and see if he's gonna have a second or third one that's similar to it, and then get that one because I did feel like that started to look back, and I saw that in some of the ones that I look back over, but I didn't notice it before that because I was just a true fan. Now his paintings do make me feel like, oh, I want to be there. I want to be right there. How do I get to here? You know. So hope runs deep, faith runs deep. Those just touch me because, they're renditions of a whole town that is engrossed in the canvas, and all of them, like when it comes to celebrating the holiday, it feels like all of them are included in this little thought process. So that's why I loved it. Yeah. What canvas touches you the most? You guys see my little canvas right here? Let me get this one. Rhonda made this for me. This is me, the Emerald Fairy Butterfly Princess. And these right here, I'm gonna have to one day get it and try and pull it closer. But behind her, these are fairy wings, and they're beautiful. And I don't know how you do it with diamonds, but they look so ethereal, and they're so beautiful and sparkly. So, yes, love it, love it, love it. Anyway, what does everybody have planned? Boy, I got to start advertising my channel again. It's usually real live in here, and we're getting a ton of questions, and everybody's answering and things. Not today. No, 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 no. And again, I attribute that to because it's towards the end of the summer. Numbers are usually down because it's a time of the day where people might be, well, you guys are headed to bed right now on the East Coast. But in the summer, you might be out a little bit later during the week and things like that. I know as the month ends, more people are going to be home in the evenings. Yes. And so because of that, I just I just needed my drink and realized I never even brought it in here with me. That's a good idea. Um, Let me see. I know that we were supposed to have you on a couple of like a week or two ago. We did a show on the 17th. So our next show, unless you want to come on during the week, next the 28th of August with me, our next morning laughs with Lizzie and Tia, or Tia and Lizzie, that's on the 31st, August 31st. Or you can be on next week, which is August 28th. Let me know, Robert. I can't believe it. I was sitting here like, where's my drink? And I really, unfortunately, left it all away in the other room. How did I do that? I literally, so what did I do? I must have walked in here with the drink, turned around, and walked back out. Who does that? 31 songs. Good to me. Oh, you mean 30? Saturday. 31st. Yes. You gonna be up? We start at 7 a.m. Aren't you in the same time zone as me, Robert? I think we both are Pacific time. You'll be welcome to join us. It's a 2-hour show. Although Lizzie keeps telling people it's an hour. We've never gone just an hour. I don't know why she tells people that. It's you'll be up at 7 o'clock in the morning. All right. We're gonna send you an invite. Just make sure the day before, so the 30th, you say, hey Tia, I'm gonna be up at 7. Although I don't really ever forget those things. I think some people do if they're not like if we, don't I don't usually do like reminders. I perhaps should, but I usually don't do even at work. I don't do reminders. So I tell someone, hey, you should take the vehicle here for inspection by this date. I don't follow up and say, hey, don't forget to take this here, by this date. Oh, tomorrow's that date. I don't do, I know a lot of people who do, but I don't do that. So perhaps I should. Things would probably run a little bit smoother. Perhaps I should. But other than that, Robert said, will do. Good. Well, we didn't have a large party in here tonight. I so appreciate everybody who does come out, even the ones who are going to hashtag replay. I'm going to put a little bit note in there and make sure I say show starts at 5, whatever, whatever. But it was a lot of fun. Make sure that you guys come back, and see you guys next week. Next week. Bye.